I hope you're doing well. My name is Mike Barden, and I write and produce instrumental music under the name I-I. Now, when I set out to make this video, I only had a two-word phrase in mind: constant creativity, which I thought that was good, but then I didn't know what else to say. Now, if you're someone who works in a creative space, this happens all the time, doesn't it? We might call the blank page syndrome or a brain freeze or writer's block. You're like, how do I start this? What's the right way to frame it? What's the right structure? What will people think when they see this or hear this? I feel like I'm getting nowhere here. Should I even be wasting my time? So what exactly is going on there when we hit that wall and can't seem to move forward and develop an idea? How can we get stumped like that and get stuck there, maybe for minutes or hours, days, or even months? And then after a while, you just start to feel completely uninspired or maybe even depressed, thinking you just suck and you should quit and you're not a creative person after all. It's because in our minds, we have accumulated a lifetime of conditioning, maybe some bad experiences or failures, embarrassments, and really just a lot of elaborate narratives and storylines that we've built up in our mind about how life works and who really wins and who really loses in life and all those kinds of things. They have become hardwired into our psyche. Those relentless thought patterns and those psychological hang-ups can keep even the most seasoned creators stuck. And for others, it can actually prevent us from ever starting a creative idea. Or maybe if you're a good starter, maybe you have the hardest time ever finishing a creative project. So I have a very simple thought to share with you that I hope will help. Let's just get past that mental noise and rediscover, or maybe discover for the first time, some of the simplest truths about creativity. And I have three for you today. First of all, creativity is constant. It is always there, every moment of every day, whether you can see it or not. Second, creativity is limitless. It is vast. There are more possibilities in the realm of creativity than you could ever imagine. And third, and maybe the most surprising, is that when you are in that flow, creativity is effortless. Really, it is. But only once you stop thinking so hard about it and just get started. Now, every one of us has that timeless aspect of ourselves. It's an empty but infinite space from which we are simply and quietly observing the passing of our own daily lives. That dimension of you is that source of creativity because it isn't limited in any way. It doesn't get writer's block, and it doesn't judge, and it doesn't have any insecurities. All those kinds of obstacles come from our transient self or our personal self that has been conditioned by all those life experiences and those narratives that constantly remind us of a million reasons why we can't finish this project. And yes, there is tension between those two worlds. I had it as I was working on this video. Am I just going to look like a dork saying all this weird stuff? Don't I look really dumb on camera? Hasn't this stuff already been said before by better people? Maybe really I'm not the best person for this. All that kind of thing. But I did eventually just start. I started with the phrase constant creativity. And then I came up with a second phrase: start with anything. Because that's exactly how you break that cycle and tap into that creative flow. Start with anything. And don't start with something big. Don't think you have to make your masterpiece. That will only intimidate you. So start with the simplest, smallest, most obvious thing and work your way out from there. One little thing will lead to the next little thing. And then you'll start to see how a third thing could fit in. And then you'll start to see patterns and contour and dynamics. And it will become easier and easier for you to make those quick and clear decisions about what works with this project and what doesn't work. Like, should I add this sound or this effect or this color? And then you'll eventually even see how to end it and call it done. Not perfect, but done. And then you release it and then move on to the next. And that is it. That's how I came up with this video. That's how I've written every piece of music under the name I-I. When I write that music, I literally don't know where it will start or where it will go, but I trust the process, and I just start with something, usually something incredibly simple. And at some point I'd like to actually make some videos showing how I create music that way. So what do you think of all this? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and share those in the comments below. And while you're at it, subscribe to the channel for more conversation like this and to hear the music that I will be releasing in the months to come, and it is coming. And remember at the beginning when I said I had an idea for the video but didn't know what to say? Well, the video is done. So thank you for joining me here. I'll see you again soon.